Hey guys, what's up? I hope that you can hear me very well. I am sitting outside actually. It's beautiful out here today and there's birds chirping and planes going over the house and other stuff. So I hope it's not too distracting, but I just wanted to get a text message. I think I may actually move just a little. Be right back. Okay, that literally looks the exact same. Anyways, my neighbor's gonna mow his lawn also at this moment in time. I wanted to sit and talk with you guys about what it is like being vegan, going vegan, the whole thing. And I have to put a couple disclaimers out before I get started in this video. Number one, I've only been vegan for like 2 weeks, so I'm brand new to it. I don't know anything really about it. And I'm not a professional in it by any means. Meaning, do your research if you think this is something you might be interested in to make sure it's healthy for you, that you're doing it the right way. I'm trying to read as much material as I can about it. And it's so much better to do it that way than to just listen to other people. I think experience-wise, it's great to hear from a real person, but obviously you want to make sure that you don't pass out or get sick or anything. I mean, who is that? He just mowed his lawn 1 day ago. So I wrote down a few things to talk about because I get so lost and like caught up in what I'm talking about that I know I'll forget everything that I'm trying to say. The first thing that I thought would be a good starting point is, why did I go vegan? This is a little bit of a story, but hopefully overall this is going to be a pretty short video because it's pretty to the point. So I went vegan because I had been thinking about it a lot, and it was just like always on my mind even when I wasn't trying to think about it. Just a little thought would pop in my head about like what I was eating or what I should be eating or what was in the thing I was eating and all of this other stuff. And to be frank, it was almost like I started to get really grossed out thinking about the process of the foods I was eating, the companies that made them, and I don't know why that started to happen other than like it was just my time to be a vegan, I guess. And like I would be eating a hamburger, and I love hamburgers, they're delicious, but right in the middle of it I would start thinking about the factory that produced the meat and what like standards it had to meet, if any, and like where did the meat come from and all of this. And then it just started to really bother me. And I kind of am that way about restaurants in general right now. I've been that way about restaurants though for like maybe a month or two. The idea of another person cooking my food that has the potential to do anything they want to my food before it gets to me is really scary. And don't get me wrong, I still eat at restaurants. I'm just very aware and like alert now. One of the people I went to high school with went and ordered a burrito and found a rusty blade in it. Like, it's just crazy. So I started to get freaked out about eating out in general at restaurants. I would say that started sparking in my head like 2 months ago, where I constantly was just thinking about what I was eating, where we were going, why is this so gross to me, like all of this stuff. And something that I think helped me along on that process too is cooking for Dustin, which is funny because at my parents' house when I lived with them, I did all the cooking pretty much, so I even used to seeing ground beef or chicken or whatever in the raw. But for some reason, since my stomach kind of turned to those kind of things, and before anyone asks me or says anything like this, I'm not pregnant. It just throwing that out there. But for some reason, after we got married, I just like almost could not handle cooking a raw chicken or seeing ground beef or smelling it or like having to touch any of it. I don't know what happened, but that very much helped me. So that like started the whole journey. Now, here are the 2 points that I went vegan officially for. Probably about a month ago, I started to be really miserable because this is embarrassing and depressing for me, genuinely, but I started to gain so much weight, which is weird because I gained weight after we got married, but just here recently, I just don't work out anymore, ever. Like, I never did anything, not even like a 5-minute workout. Ate anything I wanted, all day, every day, really unhealthy. And I do have a good body as far as it's good to me. If I work out and eat well, then my body responds to that very quickly. Apparently, if it goes the other way, it responds quickly there too. And the 2 places that I gain weight the quickest and most, I feel like, is in my face and in my thighs. I know you guys never really see too much below what you're seeing right now. I'm kind of a curvier person, and I don't mind to be curvy at all. What I mind is being unhealthy. I just realized at the very end of this video, I never explained the part where I was like, I gain weight in my face and legs first, and then I never said anything else about it. So I'm coming back to say that my face as you guys can hopefully tell, has slimmed down here a lot. And a couple days ago, I almost even got emotional over it while I was in the shower. I was shaving the back of my thighs, and you know that weird stance you do where like one of your legs is out like this? Well, I was doing that, and typically I have so much fat there on the back of my thigh that my razor coming up, if I'm not careful, will get caught. I know that sounds so gross, but it will. It kind of just like skips over because of cellulite and just the whole deal. And this weekend I was in the shower and I was doing that, and I just kind of went over a few times and then noticed like, that's not catching on anything, that's weird. And I've noticed since then how thin and slim my thighs have gotten. So definitely cutting out a lot of those sugars that you don't even know you're eating. Milk, cheese, everything is going to really change your body and your life. So the embarrassing part, I guess, is that it started to get to the point where none of my pants, none of them fit comfortably. This was for two reasons. One, I had gained so much weight, my love handles were hanging over my pants, which has never happened to me before. And I mean, I've been, that's maybe happened to me before. I've been chubby a lot of my life. Obesity kind of runs in my family anyways. We have that tendency. So none of my jeans were fitting anymore. Jeans I like had just gotten that I was so excited about, that were like boyfriend fit, that were really loose, would hardly button. I mean, this is ridiculous. The first point, I gained weight, but the second point was 100% of the time I was so miserably bloated. Like, it hurt how bloated I was. And you know, sometimes you wake up in the morning and you're like, oh, I look good, and then like 3, 4, 5 hours later you look like not so good as you did in the morning, because your body had time to like sleep and work all that stuff off or whatever. That used to be how I would wake up and look really good, feel really good, and then kind of get to start my day again, and by the end of it I would be bloated and miserable. But now it was getting to the point where I would wake up bloated, so bloated that from hip bone to hip bone was like, if this is a hip bone and this is a hip bone, it was literally like this when I woke up. Okay, this might be a long video after all, I'm sorry. Basically, the first reason is just weight loss. I was really unhappy with how I was looking and wanted to know. It started kind of like cutting out bread. The reason I started getting into vegan things was I wanted to cut out bread, and then if I cut out bread, what if I cut out A, B, C, and D? What kind of changes would I see? So that's kind of what started it. The second reason is simple and obvious. I just want to save all the animals in the world, and like I said, for some reason it's all my mind can do is focus on that. Remind myself when I'm trying to eat a hamburger, like, hey, you're eating a cow. Or when I'm eating a chicken nugget, like, do you know what is in that chicken nugget? If you guys are wanting to go vegan and you're like a little on the fence about it, or you kind of can't decide, or you can't commit, watch a couple documentaries on Netflix, or just go to Pinterest and search vegan like posts or quotes or something. Some of the stuff you'll find out about meat is disgusting, really disgusting. I also have to put a little disclaimer right here though. If you eat meat, do you, basically is what this whole video is. Like, my husband still loves it. When I said I was gonna go vegan, I had a lot of people asking me if Justin was going vegan, and I just started laughing when they asked, like, no, he's never gonna give up bacon. So if it's not something that is personally like convicting you, I don't think necessarily that everybody has to do it. It would be a different planet if everyone was vegan. But if it isn't convicting you, then okay, moving on. So next is the challenges of going vegan. And the first and foremost for me is staying full. I'm still learning about how to eat and what to eat, so that in like 15 minutes, I'm not like, all right, well, those 3 pieces of spinach were delicious, but now what? It has been a little bit of a struggle, but I'm learning. I'm getting a lot of veggie burgers, and I found some breads that I can eat so that I have a little bit more to like digest before I'm hungry again. But I do get hungrier a lot quicker now. Is a good and bad thing. I feel like it's bad because it's annoying for me, and it's like more food to have to eat and buy and cook and prepare or whatever. But the good thing is that means my body's working it off quickly, and I kind of can snack throughout the whole day. And if I'm choosing healthy, good snacks, I don't feel as bad about it. Second, I feel like is just a challenge for me. Like, this isn't a challenge about going vegan, I don't think. I think I'm just like ignorant. And that's finding actually vegan things. I don't know why. When I first started shopping, I thought if it said organic, I was like, well, that has to be vegan, right? Well, there are things that say organic chicken, which I'm not saying they're like lying. I just was mind blown when I was like, oh wait, that doesn't really mean what I thought it meant, I guess. So checking ingredients has been tough because I don't really know what everything is and what to look for. And then kind of along with that is cooking new things. Tofu, so to me, I don't dislike tofu. I actually really like it in most cases. It just has to be like flavored correctly and I'm all about it. But because I've never cooked tofu before, I don't know like what is it supposed to look like. All of the new things about cooking when I was already learning all of these other new things about cooking from being married was a little bit of a lot, but I'm coming along swimmingly at it. So lastly, I just want to talk to you guys about the results I've seen from it or changes I've seen in myself from being vegan. I have actually a really good list for you guys. I think you'll be surprised because 2 weeks is not a lot of time. The first thing I want to say, because I've already mentioned it, is unbelievable the amount of no bloat 24/7. Now, I do have to say, if you're eating more fruits and some greens, if you're eating tons of them, they can cause you to bloat. I will say consistently, I'm waking up in the morning with a flat stomach. I go throughout my whole day with a flat stomach. I go to bed with a flat stomach. And that is brand new to me. Even when I was like working out and eating healthy-ish, I never ever had the feeling of waking up feeling good from the get-go and then going the whole day and that never faltering. Saying if you go vegan, you're never gonna be bloated a day in your life again. I'm just saying for the general overall picture, I'm a lot less bloated. A weird thing I feel like to notice, and maybe this is really common, but it's not something I think would be common, and that's that I'm a lot more focused and like driven. And I guess what I mean by that is just that I can focus for longer. It used to be that I would start on something and then just kind of get like almost bored easily, I'm not sure, and then just have to find something new to do. Whereas now when I set a task for myself, I follow it till the end and then I move on to my next task. And that's been a really good feeling as well. And I think it ties into my last 2 points of my result. And that's that I'm not as tired and I have more energy. Now that's kind of the same thing, but overall speaking, when I used to go to work around 2 or 3, I would need a Coca-Cola. There were days probably like 2 months ago before this all started to kind of hit me where I would drink a small like mini-sized Coca-Cola 3 to 4 times a day, which I know they're smaller, but like I felt as though I had to stay awake for the day, which is crazy. I think that's it for this video. I hope it was helpful for you guys, that you guys could hear me good the whole video. I'm just kind of trying to explore new things for my camera, for my channel, for everything, the whole production quality. If you guys have any other questions for me, please leave them down below. I wanted to say too very quickly, I got Oreos and I'm still eating them. I still do have Cokes, a mini one from time to time, just one though. I drink about 2 of these a day, of this water, and it is 1.5 liters. And I've always been really good about drinking water, but I really try to push that nowadays. And one last thing, as a bit of encouragement for you, if you are trying to go vegan, give yourself time, again, to do the research, but also trial and error. You don't know what you're gonna like, and it's important that you are not starving yourself, going to make yourself sick, or anything else that can be related with veganism. It's a process because you're literally learning how to eat again. You've eaten meat your whole life maybe, and now you're trying not to eat any meat. And it's not like sometimes even about I love hamburgers, I love chicken, I love whatever, and I need to eat it. You just kind of get to a point where you're like, well, what else am I supposed to eat? So give yourself a little bit of time to kind of figure it out. You'll find some really, really yummy recipes also. If you guys want me to share any of the ones that I found, I definitely can do that in a video, let me know. And another point of encouragement, if you already have food in your house that is not vegan, a really big factor for me that goes into being vegan is not being wasteful. If you need to finish off some milk, finish it off. Maybe if there's someone else in your house that is not trying to go vegan, that loves milk, make them something with it. Make them brownies or cookies or something, or just a bowl of cereal. But the point is, don't go in your pantry and fridge and throw everything out and then try to restock it, and then you're hungry all the time, you don't know what to fix, you don't know what you have, blah, blah, blah. Start with what you have, finish off what you have, because you don't want to be wasteful, and kind of go from there. That's what I've tried to do, is finish off things in my pantry, in my fridge, in my freezer, exclude meat as much as possible. I've pretty much not had meat for like a week and a half now. I'm still using some other things in my pantry that are not vegan. Anyways, that's gonna be it for today's video. I hope that you guys loved it. Be sure to subscribe before you leave, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.